Yo, what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Welcome Home Dad. You already know I'm your host, Terrence. Today we are back in the studio. We got another special guest with us, my man Robert here. I'm not going to crash his name. I've already went over it like 5 times and I'm still killing it. It's Novoa. Novoa. See, look, I'm still killing it. But we have another great show. Robert's going to break down his life here with us and he's going to talk about some things that he's been through. But of course, you already know, we're going to play a game, break the ice. My man Robert says he's camera shy a little bit, so y'all, let's go ahead and let's have some fun. So Robert, my man, what I usually do is just ask you some random questions. It's just either A, B, C, or whatever you want to go with. So here we go, man. I know that you do some MMA, kickboxing, stuff like that. What is your favorite, your favorite move right now?
My favorite move?
Yes.
I would say omoplata.
Omoplata. What is omoplata?
It's it's like you get their arm tangled up and then you pretty much can rip their arm out of the
Oh, Lord. So you're trying to pull some Wolverine type of stuff, man.
I've been able to get it quite a bit lately.
Yes, sir.
It's jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. Yes, sir. We love sports. We love any contact sports, especially jiu-jitsu, martial arts. We actually had Michael Joyner on the show with us too as well, black belt, taekwondo.
Oh, nice.
So that's really awesome.
Oh, cool.
So another good thing, in the morning time, do you have a routine like you wake up, you got to have hot coffee, breakfast?
I definitely got a routine. So I wake up at 4 in the morning. My alarm goes off at 4 in the morning every day, and then I get ready. If it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, I try to go to the run club, which is MIM.
Yes, sir.
The run club they have downtown here in Ocala. And then, but if it's not, then I just go to the gym. So I'll go to the run club on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then go to the gym after. But on Tuesday and Thursday, I usually just go to the gym.
Yes, sir.
I do my cardio there.
Cardio, gotta have the cardio. Let's see here. Are you a breakfast, lunch, or dinner type of guy?
So right now I fast,
Okay.
so I only eat one meal a day,
Gotcha.
and it's usually after 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And I stay in the window between 3 and 7, sometimes 8 o'clock, depending on what my night is like.
Gotcha. Now, is that a heavy meal? Since I'm pretty sure you ain't.
Yeah, I mean, usually when I start eating, it's like I gotta figure out how to stop myself.
Hey, I feel you on that, man. Hey, that's good. That's great. So you start at like 9 o'clock that night previously, or for your fast?
Yeah. Like at the latest, I try to, like I said, at the latest 8 o'clock.
Okay,
right,
latest
so
8
I try to
o'clock.
start at 8
Okay,
o'clock.
got you. A little nice time window to get yourself some good food in between that time. All right, last question for you. Favorite football team?
Ooh, so I don't really watch football
Okay.
much, but if I were, it would be the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Who's that?
I grew up, my dad was a big Dolphin fan, so that's all.
Hey, I got you. Well, I will keep praying for the Dolphins.
What's yours?
Mine is the Ravens. I can't really talk too much because we didn't even do too much this year, man. I mean, we start out hot every year, and it's like, oh, we're going to make it to the championship, and boom, we never make it.
Yeah.
Just either the first round, second round, it just ain't working out for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I like playing sports. I like doing all that stuff, and, even training jiu-jitsu and martial arts and all that. And, I just started getting into watching UFC again because it was just so much money. But now that it's on Paramount, so you can watch it now. And it's like, because I would fall asleep before the end of the fight. So spending that kind of money to watch it and fall asleep.
Got
I
you.
was like, nah. So I watch the highlights in the morning, season 1.
No, hey, listen, I do the same thing. I don't pay for any of that stuff. I wake up in the morning, cut on YouTube, and I'm watching all straight NBA or college highlights, especially with March Madness about to come up here shortly. So I'm definitely, I'll probably tune in as many free live shows. Don't cut at YouTube. But I would definitely be tuning in. Man, that was our little warm up here. Like I said, we're trying to get Robert warmed up for the camera here. For everybody tuning in, if this is your first time, thank you once again. This is Welcome Home Dad. You guys can make sure you click the subscribe button. Also share this video, share all the videos, go back and watch any of the old ones. Like I said, I'm your host, Terrence. We've been doing this for quite some time. The channel's been up for almost about a year and a half and some change. So we're still baby stepping it. But like I said, we are taking the time out to recognize or put some light on men's mental health. I'm not gonna hog up the camera today. I've been on it, several times here. I'm actually gonna let Robert introduce himself, and I'm gonna give him the floor so he can tell you a little bit about himself. So, Robert, my man, you want to go ahead and take it over?
Yeah, I'm Rob Novoa. That's how you say it. So, just in case you want to know. I actually turned 40 on March 16th, which is next Monday.
Yes, sir.
And can't believe it's already going to be 40. Jeez,
Hey,
where does time
be
go?
alive, man.
For sure. But and I'm glad I'm on this show because honestly, I've suffered through mental health for the past 5 years probably, and then I mean, I guess we're gonna get into it a little bit, but yeah, so that's why I'm on here. And then honestly, it was cool how like we met too. It's we met in the gym. I think I was wearing a jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's what I used to think. Yeah, I was like, man, this dude either martial arts, because I've always seen him in the gym cardio up. I'm like, yeah, he doing something.
And so yeah, we started talking about it, and you said you trained a little bit, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did a little something. I actually, believe it or not, we're still talking about Robert here.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
I do have a black belt in Taekwondo. I actually just not too long ago got back into it. I've been training over at the Iron Legion over there. Gosh, I can't think. Yeah, Birdhouse. Yeah, I've been training over there at Birdhouse. So I've been trying to knock the dust off. I've been enjoying it. So it's been fun quite some time since I've been on the mat doing anything like that. But I still enjoy it. So
that's awesome. Jiu-jitsu or?
Jiu-jitsu.
Or are you doing the kickboxing?
Nah, just the jiu-jitsu for right now.
That's awesome. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I think everybody should.
Yes, sir.
Even women.
Definitely.
It, because I got a little daughter. I got 2 kids. I got a son and a daughter.
Okay.
My daughter's 5. My son is 8.
Okay.
But daddy's not gonna always be there for the little girl, so you gotta know how to protect yourself.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think every woman should learn how to, at least the basics, learn
something.
How to self-defense. And my son, he's getting good at it. I'm getting better at it, but we still got a long road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So obviously, you see there, Robert, he didn't even want to get all into the details. Robert, happy early birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
He said that he will be turning 40 March 16th. So if you guys see Robert out, if you're in Ocala, make sure you tell him happy birthday. We'll put his Cash App and all that stuff up there. But so Robert, I know you said you have 2 girls. I mean, not 2 girls. I'm sorry. You have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, 5 and 8. Now, with that being said, currently single, married, divorced. What's your story like, my man?
So I'm married, but we're separated right now because my mental health that's been happening has been kind of getting in the way of my marriage, and just a lot of things I've been going through. And we're not together, but and we live in separate places right now and all that. But I don't know what the future holds,
Yes, sir.
We'll go from there. Just trying to focus on my healing, and she's trying to focus on her healing. So
yeah.
And but her focusing on her healing is a lot better than me focusing on my healing.
Hey, everybody, sir.
It's been really tough for me.
Gotcha. And everybody's healing stages are different. Like I said, I've never been married, but I know personally how that goes. I was with my kid's mother for quite some time, so the healing stage is definitely different. We are now great friends, still co-parenting, learning how to communicate properly.
Yeah.
I think as you get older, you just kind of want less argument, more peace, and you just like, however you can make this work, we can just make it work.
Yeah.
But like you said, that's very important, healing stages, man. And obviously we don't want to jump the gun here. So Robert, if you want to tell us about your childhood growing up, what was the young Robert like growing up, man?
Well, me growing up, when I was younger, I had the nickname of Fat Rob.
Okay.
F-A-T, not P-H-A-T.
Gotcha.
But it was, so I grew up fat and just like had a shave and just kind of like, and I felt like I was kind of dumb growing up, and I felt like not smart and just all this stuff. Like, it was just like, felt like, not that I thought it at the time, but now that I think back, I was like, I felt worthless. I felt like there was I just had nothing going for me. It was just like, and even not to talk bad about my mom, because my dad left, but he was in my life, but he left. It was mainly raised by my mom. That like, she kind of looked at me as like, I'm gonna be taking care of him for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like he's not that great in school, and just. So I kind of had that coming from her too. So like the worthlessness was kind of like in me, and then coming from my mom too. So not that, like I said, like it was different back in the days.
Yeah.
They didn't. I know she didn't mean to do that, but it's just what she projected.
Gotcha.
And so I had like living that my whole life. I feel like now it's starting to come out, like all that. I don't want to blame my childhood of all the decisions I've made recently and all that, but yeah, I think some of it definitely hasn't affected me now.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, obviously how we are, parenting, that plays an effect in some of the things that we do as adults now, whether it comes with raising our kids or even certain things that we learned, whether it was good or bad. At the end of the day, our parents, they did what they could do at the time.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I know you said your mom pretty much raised you. Did you have any brothers or sisters or anything?
Yeah. I have an older brother.
Okay.
And so, and then not only that, my older brother, everything came better, easier for him, actually. It was he was good at sports, he was good at grades, smart, handsome, and all that stuff. He was, in shape.
Yeah.
And, all the girls liked him, so then
man.
And I'm like the fat younger brother. So it was just so I'm looking up to my brother, but also why can't I be like that?
Yeah, man. And well, at the end of the day, man, when you look at it, we all go through our own trials. And I can relate because I didn't have any brothers or sisters, but I can also relate to the heavyset portion. I was pretty heavyset growing up in high school. I don't think I started losing weight until about 10th, maybe 11th grade.
Okay.
So yeah, man, I understand where you're coming from with the heavyset portion, because it's you're either getting picked on and all this stuff. You get picked last for certain things in sports. And well, it's understandable.
That's when I started in shape. It was 9th grade. I started, because having an older brother, I started to get to know his friends too, and they went to summer workouts. So I started getting into football then and all that. I mean, I played sports growing up, but it was never that intense workout like it was when I got in high school.
Got you. Now, growing up, continuously getting older, and I know you said high school you got started with sports. Were there anything in life, I guess you would say, you said your dad was growing up, he was still in your life?
Yeah, he was in my
life,
life, he wasn't raising us.
Okay, were you guys going over there? You guys spending time with your dad? Or?
I don't remember how long the period was, but he moved to New York for a little while. And then, so we would visit him, not often, but we would go visit him sometimes. And I don't really know how long we were there for.
Yeah.
Because, it was so long.
Yeah.
And I guess I've never really asked. But I remember those memories of being there. But then eventually, I think when I got sick, when I was younger, my dad might have moved back to Florida. And then, that's it. We would, every other weekend, we would go over there.
Gotcha.
Visit him. And then eventually he ended up moving to Tennessee where he's at now.
Okay, nice. And are you still in communication with your dad? Good relationship and everything?
Yeah, we just went to Peru last year.
Nice.
That's because my dad's Peruvian, so we have a bunch of family over there.
Oh, great. That's what's up, man. And how's Peru looking right now over there?
Right now, I mean, where we were, it was beautiful.
Okay, gotcha.
It was amazing.
I've never been to Peru.
Never. So that was my second time going. The first time we went to Machu Picchu.
Okay. Never been there. I've heard of it, but I've never been.
It's unbelievable. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Yeah. Good food, I'm assuming, over there too.
But there's one thing they like to eat, which is guinea pig.
Yeah.
And I was I had to try it.
Yeah.
But never again. I'm good.
Oh, never again. Oh, hey, listen. I growed up. I done had some weird stuff too, man. Just growing up, I've had some raccoon. Possum.
I've never had any of that.
Listen, so guinea pig, I don't know if I can put that on my list. I might try it once, but you're saying never again.
Yeah, people are what does it taste like? And most people are it tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
No, it just tastes like whatever
what it is. Okay, all right. Well, stay away from the guinea pig, y'all.
But try it. If you get a chance.
Oh,
maybe you'll like it.
And what's crazy isn't a guinea pig usually like a pet?
Yeah.
Wow.
The thing is, it's funny because they have these big old homes for them. There's just guinea pigs running around all in this. They treat them like kings. Like they're pet. And it's just, and then when it's time to eat them, they're just all right,
grab them
and go. Cook it up.
Wow. Okay, well then treat them like king treatment just so they can eat them later on. Fatten them up. Hey man, no, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I'm not putting that on my list to eat, y'all, but shout out to everybody out there that eats your pets. But listen, man, when it comes down to it, high school, where I know you said you started losing weight and everything, were you coming out of your shell then, starting to accumulate more friends and all that good stuff?
And that's what another thing too that my mom kind of was doing too. I was my brother's friends were my friends at the time, and I didn't have any other friends. And once they graduated, because they're 2 years older than me, it's what is he gonna do next?
Yeah.
found my own friends and started hanging out with them and all that. So it was like, it's always like that doubt my mom always had in me. So
Yeah.
I felt like I was always trying to prove myself. Like, no, I'm not that person you think I am, or this or that.
And when you say prove yourself, and are you trying to say as in your mom was like, oh, he's never gonna have any friends, or I have to make sure he gets some friends?
Well, see, like I look back now and think about it, and it's like maybe I was trying to prove that, like, oh, what you're saying is not true. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But not at the time. It was just like it just happened. I came out of my shell, I guess, and I got friends, and I guess we got more popular and all that. So
yes, sir. Naturally.
Yeah.
In high school, I know we have our wild times growing up where he's like, oh, I don't want to listen to mom or dad. You kind of want to do whatever you want to do. You getting in any trouble or?
No, I didn't really get in too much trouble. I was trying to keep it cool. Like, so one of my friends that I ended up having and hung out with a lot, he was real into fitness. So like, I didn't drink really in high school. I didn't do drugs or anything. So it was just like, I just kind of chilled. We worked out. We would go to parties and stuff.
Yeah.
People would drink, and we would act like we like had a bottle and put like Kool-Aid or some shit
Oh,
in
hey.
it. And like, I mean,
act like it.
Put some stuff in there, and like just so people wouldn't bother us.
Yeah.
And it was just
No
like,
pressure.
But then eventually they realized like we're not gonna drink or anything, do anything crazy. So maybe we just hung out and we just had fun.
And I think that growing up, I guess that peer pressure is, wanting to, hey, oh, you guys aren't doing it, and then it's like, oh man, I don't want to seem like I'm not down to doing that stuff. But it is what it is. I mean, even now as an adult, you still can face that same thing. I know when I go out, personally, I don't really drink. I don't even drink really at all, unless it's socially. But I know my limits. It's just like if I do go out, have a drink, it's just one or two. After that, I'm done. You're not gonna peer pressure me to drink anything else more, because I like to be aware of my surroundings and stuff like that. What's going on?
Because that kind of reminds me. I bartended for a little bit. And, I had a day job too, so I had to work in the morning, and people would ask me, you want a shot? You want this, that? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then eventually people realized like I'm not gonna drink, so they stopped asking. And like it was just like, all right, cool. And then the other bartenders, somebody would say, hey, you want to give him a shot? He's like, he doesn't drink. Yeah. So it like got to that point where like they knew what time it was.
Well, at least they could tip you some more.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like you just after a while like. Not that anyone was peer pressuring me, but like they'll realize like he's not
gonna take the offer up. Yeah, and there's no pressure on that. It's okay to say no. So if you guys are out there, whether you're a teenager, even as an adult, it is okay to say no. So you can pass up on certain things in life, and it's just continuously wanting to, get past that peer pressure, or just, hey, even knowing your limits when you've had enough. It is, like I said, it's always okay to say no. And Robert, I know you say you got into fitness with that buddy of yours. Is that kind of where 9th grade, 10th grade, throughout high school, you kind of stuck with the regimen, or you guys were doing that stuff all the time?
Yeah, we were. We worked out a lot. We ran a lot. We, just getting ready for sports and all that. Because he was a wrestler. He played football, but he was more of a wrestler.
Okay.
So I tried wrestling 1 year. I didn't know that one, so I just kind of didn't do it. I was more of soccer and football.
Wow. Okay. See, I do not. I'm not a soccer person.
Really?
I don't not like soccer. Just to let y'all know, it wasn't for me. It was kind of like a trauma because I was heavy set, and that was not for me running up and down the field. I just stuck with football. That was my thing.
I don't blame you, bro. Honestly, like it was crazy because my brothers were all good at soccer. I wasn't that great. I was more football.
Okay.
But it was funny because like they would put me in midfield, and that's where you do the most running. And I wasn't that great of a runner.
Yeah.
And for a while there, I thought maybe they just put me in there to go like get somebody out of the game or like tackle somebody or like you're like this person's giving us trouble. Go in there.
Go in there.
Because like if we're going to the ball, if like me and then another person are going for the ball, I'm gonna try to get it.
Okay,
and, so I was a little bit more aggressive than.
You got yellow carded.
I'm sure I've got a few. Not that I was trying to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It was just like I'm not gonna let you get it.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It just for me, man. Listen, I'd just rather. I had, like I said, I didn't play any sports until coming into my 10th grade year. Soccer was just not for me. I got out there, I think, at football camp, and I thought it wasn't for me either until we had to run so many laps around in the baseball field. And that was crazy too, but motivation and then just wanting to lose the weight, continuously get out of my shell, learn how to make more friends. if you could just tell us a little bit about, Robert as he got older in life and the things that he had to overcome and certain things that I know you touched on about mental health previously in the beginning of the show. But if you just want to kind of fill us in and tell us a little bit more about your mental health journey, that I think a lot of people out here would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of high school, I ended up, was supposed to go to college, but I only went to 2 classes. But then from out of high school, I stopped working out. I stopped doing all that and gained a ton of weight. Got real fat again. And I think that messed with me a little bit looking back now. Mm-hmm. And so I just started feeling that worthlessness, fat, disgusting, sloppy, just partying a lot and just doing stuff in your 20s. I was 18, 19. And so just doing things that I shouldn't have been. I should have been focusing more on other things that I'm doing now. But I think that's when it kind of started happening. I was in a bad relationship too, and that wasn't good. And then I met who my wife is now. Like later on, we were best friends for 3 or 4 years before we even started talking and all that. So then, she knew me at my biggest.
Gotcha.
So like she seen that and all that, and she made me great. I mean, she made me happy and all that. And then once we started getting together, and then we, I think back and I was like, we really didn't know how to communicate at all.
Yeah.
Because we were in our 20s. What are you going to communicate about? Like, where are we going to go to dinner, or what are we going to have for dinner? There's not much you really need to communicate about.
Yeah.
And so then we and I think so when I turned 31 is when we got married at 28, and then at 31 we had our first kid.
Gotcha.
And then now that's when real life started. That's when we had to start communicating and all that, which wasn't too bad, at first. But then we had the second kid, mm-hmm. which was our daughter, and that's when things started changing a lot, because it's like she was a lot more difficult than our son.
Yeah.
Like with sleep-wise and all this. And then I started working at the bar, like I said earlier. So I was working 2 jobs. So I was working because the daycares were so expensive.
Yeah, it's still expensive, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, thank goodness we don't have to deal with that anymore. But it was like, and it was just like, would it be cheaper if I got another job and, you just stay home, take care of the kids, and then, I'll take care of all the bills. Thinking that's what a man is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like provide, And so then, I was getting maybe like 2 hours of sleep most nights, because I was still getting up, going to the gym. I was still like trying to stick with my fitness, and, that's what helped me, feel better, And, but she wasn't communicating to me how much our daughter wasn't sleeping. And so she was, not getting much sleep, and I'm not getting much sleep. So in the times I was home, I was only home for like 2 hours before I had to go to the next job, and so instead of like communicating with each other, we were just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
So it was just like, and then sometimes she would be at home, because then she ended up getting a job at Florida Virtual. And so she would be home by herself all day, like working. And so then when I'd get there, she needed that adult
breather.
Yeah, like to talk to and like let it vent and let it all out. And I'm just so tired. I don't want to hear any of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, I just want to eat my dinner before I have to go to the gym. I mean, go back to work, and I just want time to just unwind for a second. But like she's going a mile a minute, and I'm just like, please just leave me alone, And it just like after a while, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and like we were just fighting, and I'm thinking, man, this is so miserable. Like I'm not happy, like I'm miserable and all this. Looking back now, it really wasn't that much miserable.
Yeah, man.
Compared to what my life is now.
Gotcha.
And but yeah, so then we ended up like separating. Well, like later on, but I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing.
Gotcha.
Obviously, and then not obviously, but that's how I handle things when things are wrong. Like I need validation from what I found out now, because at the time I didn't know what was going on with me. But I wasn't like I was seeking validation from others, but it just kept coming to me. Like, this person's telling me, "Oh, you're such a great man, a father, to work so much, to do this and this," and then I'm going home and my wife is telling me like,
Yeah.
Why aren't you home more? Like, why are this, this? And I'm like, I thought that's what the man's supposed to do, provide,
It's
But
the ego strokes.
yeah, exactly. So then, like, that stuff starts to get to you. Like, you're hearing this from your wife, and then you're hearing all these great things from some random person. That doesn't know who you are, but it feels good though.
Yeah.
Like, my wife knows me because we've known each other since we were 19.
Yeah, definitely.
And so instead of just telling me like this is what's going on, like sitting down and talking to me, we're just fighting.
At the bartending, you said you and your wife, lack of sleep, lack of communication, yelling at each other, certain aspects of life not being met. How would you say that you guys could communicate a little better? How would you say that you guys could have learned to communicate a little more effectively?
Honestly, I think we should have started therapy, like marriage therapy, a lot sooner, and not only that, like, just be able to sit down with each other and be like, what's going on? Like, why are you so upset? This is how I feel. And honestly, like, listen, the big thing is listening, and like, let the ego go a little bit and actually listen to what she has to say, and she listen to what I have to say. This is how I'm feeling, and this is how she's feeling, because no one really wants to hear things that are going on. So it's hard to let that ego. And at that time, I'm not gonna lie, if we were to sit down and say that, there's no way I was gonna listen to it, because we were already not doing well, and now you're gonna come at my ego and you're gonna tell me all this stuff that I'm not doing this, and this. I mean, we ended up going to therapy, but I mean, even being in there, it's just her saying that, like, I feel like a single mom. That really hurt me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, listen, I'm busting my tail for this family. Like, I'm barely getting any sleep. I'm doing this and this, and like, I was raised by a single mom. Like, how dare you tell me what you feel like a single mom right now?
Yeah.
Like, and so that hurt a lot in therapy, but like, I'm glad that she said it in therapy, because I probably would have flipped out at home.
Yeah. Said that, well, that's great. And I mean, like you said, you grew up with a single mom, but you're also at home taking care of everything, trying to handle everything, like you said, the responsibilities of a man. Yeah. But in a sense, I understand both sides.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Now you understand both sides. It's like, hey, I am here, I'm helping, I'm doing my due diligence of making sure that we're well taken care of. But also I understand, in a sense, you are a single mom technically, because hey, you're here with the kids all the time. You never really catch a break. And then when I do come home, I'm out of it, exhausted. So that's where, and like you said, that's where the yelling and stuff comes from. I definitely can understand that. I know my youngest, she was a hard time. We probably start her around about like 8, if earlier, so she could eat and go to sleep, and she was having a hard time going to sleep. Then it's like when you go to lay her down, she's like, boom, right back up. I got to get up to go to work at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. He said, we're getting up, working, and leaving moms at home. They don't have any adult life. And then, like you said, now you understand where she was coming from. And then that was said in therapy. Now, with that being said, how long were you guys going to therapy?
We were going for a little while, but I mean, also too, the therapist wasn't the greatest. You pay for what you get. And it was so I went through work and went and hit up EAP, and they sent me to a therapist to where like they help with 6 sessions, like they pay for the first 6 sessions, and then and then they take my insurance, and so I think it was like $20 a session.
Gotcha. So
it wasn't expensive at all.
Okay.
Because it was going through insurance, but like I said, you pay for what you get.
I got it.
It was, I mean, he had some good things to tell us and help us out, but it was also not the best, so, and then we ended up going to another therapist where we paid a lot more, and you get better therapy for that.
And would you say that service from that therapist was gradually better than the previous person?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But also too, like the thing that bothers me about therapy, which I don't want to knock like this therapy place, because they were great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still going to them until like I had to move out on my own, and it got real expensive.
Yeah.
But like I think insurance should cover therapy and mental health a lot more than what they do, because it's a serious thing now. It's an illness, I think.
No, I mean it definitely is, man. It's, believe it or not, I haven't really looked too much into it, but I do know that they cover, I guess, so many sessions, as you said. I'm not sure, since it's not like any physical therapy or whatever, they probably would cover more. But still, at the end of the day, that should be something, because it is really an important thing, whether you're a child, an adult, married, single. It's something that is very important.
And honestly, like, insurance isn't cheap. I pay a lot of money for insurance, and then so like on top of that, it's like, why can't I use this? I think it all depends on the place too.
Yeah,
they don't want to deal with the insurance.
They don't.
So then they're like, no, you're gonna have to pay out of pocket.
Yeah,
and that sucks too. So it's like, but even like so they were helping me out to be able to use my insurance, but the insurance wasn't paying for it all.
So you still had to pay a certain
So I still had to
percentage.
pay a certain percentage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it can still break the bank depending upon.
Yeah,
how many times.
especially nowadays. I mean, there's a lot.
I know you said obviously paying out of pocket and everything too. That stuff can get expensive.
Yeah.
Clearly, inflation. Everything is expensive nowadays.
Absolutely.
Now, with your therapy, did that kind of help you guys out with the transition of, okay, yeah, we messed up with our communication, this is how we can get better?
Yeah, I think it helped for a little bit, but also too, like, I was still in a really bad state, so it wasn't like, it was helping, but it wasn't helping. I mean, it's just like anything in life. You could hear all these great things in therapy and be like, oh man, that makes sense. But then when you leave therapy, are you applying that in your life? So it would go from, I mean, I even think about that with church, like I can go every Sunday and feel good, but then if I leave and don't do what I've heard in church, it's like, well then, I just felt motivated at the time.
Yes, sir.
And so now it's like, now I'm back to where I was at the beginning.
That's where it went. And I want to touch base on that too as well. Just a relationship, obviously, with God in your spiritual journey, it shouldn't obviously just be on Sundays. It relates to just like with your therapy. You can't just go one time a month or whatever the case may be. Obviously, funds can be a little different. And just be like, hey man, we're going to therapy, but you're only going once, and then you're not applying it. You're only going to church just on Sundays. You're not praying or reading your Bible during the week or talking to God during any time except for, just Sunday. Now I'm motivated because it's about to be Monday. So like you said, you got to apply that stuff when you guys are doing it. So if you aren't applying it, then you're just basically wasting your money, and the problems are going to still keep going.